We're going live today, guys. I gotta get set up. Pretty exciting. All right. Nope. I don't know what's happening. There we go. Social media. Middle age using social media. All right. We're recording. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to this bonus episode of Comedians Exposed. I'm Deana and I am doing an extra episode of Overly Exposed because things have gone crazy for me. I don't know how you're doing. Everybody, I hope you're doing okay. I want to say thank you again, first and foremost, to my patrons who have been supporting this project. Thank you so much for being there and encouraging me to keep doing this. You guys are awesome. Thank you to everybody who's given me feedback that you've listened and you watched the episode and you liked it. So thank you for that. That's really awesome. So what I wanted to talk about, I just think, basically we're living in the United States of anxiety. I don't know about you, but my anxiety level has been really high lately. Things are weird. I don't know. And being that we're still in the middle of a pandemic, I have to keep reminding myself that, we're in like this fight or flight syndrome or freeze. That's the third one. You could fight, fly, or freeze. And we're still living through this pandemic. Things have kind of gotten back to normal with the vaccinations. And then you have the whole group of people who don't want to get vaccinated. And it's like, on one hand, you want to get angry and be like, oh my God, I'm so angry with you. Get your vaccine. But then on the other hand, you're like, no, I get it. Why you don't want to get the vaccine, like all this anxiety, I got vaccinated, but I've also smoked Newport cigarettes in my lifetime. So, I don't know if I'm like the best person to be giving health advice. So, but I just wanted to let you guys know, like I said, I did go live for this episode, which, is so anxiety provoking right now. My butthole is really tight because I hate this. I don't like social media at all. I don't know what is these young people, man. I am optimistic they're going to be much cooler and more awesome than I am because social media gives me anxiety. I don't know about you. Like even just like, I'm going to be live, like it's weird and uncomfortable and, looking at yourself in the camera and you're like, this is so creepy. And then also posting things. I hate posting on social media. And I was just reading the other day that the most liked social media posts are babies. People love babies. You're having a baby, you're announcing a baby, you're showing your baby. Most liked posts. Second most liked posts are sexy women, in scantily clad clothes, like little bikinis and stuff. So I was like, okay, great. Ironically, those sexy babies were actually 12th on the list. So I don't know though. It's just like, I feel like you put something out there and then people are just like, scroll. It's like, it takes one thing. One little button. Oh, thank you so much. If we had social media in high school, oh my God. No, I think kids today are going to be fine. Childhood celebrities grow up really well adjusted, so I think kids today are going to be great. If we had social media when we were younger, it would have been awful. I don't think I would have been able to really kind of deep think on the same level that I do now. Like, I don't know. Social media to me seems very this instant gratification. You just get it and you enjoy it and then it's gone. And I liked the idea of when we were younger, we were bored. You had to come up with weird shit to do. And you didn't always have entertainment. We didn't always have TV, you know? So I just feel like the social media being isolated and then with social media, and now we're back out in the world in the middle of a global pandemic, US of anxiety. So I don't know, are you guys having a lot of anxiety? Do you feel like people are on edge? And it's like, I'm trying to, and then I think about why everybody's on edge. And that just makes me more and more anxious. There's a lot of weird shit out there, you know, just like people not acknowledging each other and then people complaining. And again, the whole anti-vax versus vax situation is really stressful, you know, because it's like, I want people to get vaccinated because without it, you're walking around as a human petri dish. But then, you know, you also understand why people are like, fucking not trusting the government, you know? But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was some of the other stuff that's causing anxiety, like what the fuck, you know, having the Taliban come back 20 years ago, there was the Taliban, and now they're back. I heard that they took the country over by doing a flash mob to M&M's Without Me. So it was just really quick. They just kind of like took over Afghanistan. Guess who's back? You know, it was really fun seeing them all dance in the middle of the streets. It's crazy though. It kind of makes you feel like you're in Arrested Development, and everyone's giving Biden shit about the pullout, the withdrawal. And I'm like, okay, obviously, like Biden's a fucking idiot. Like we knew this, like everybody knew this before. Like we're going to be epically disappointed with him as a president. But I'm going to fucking back him up for a second because we shouldn't have been there. Like anyone who works in foreign policy, like can these people even identify Afghanistan on the map? And then you're going to go and like invade this country that you're never going to successfully take over. Like, hello, do we not remember Vietnam? It's just like, what is happening, you know? Like, and it's weird to know this information and see it, and then everyone, oh God, I just can't believe that, I'm so shocked. Like, so ridiculous. I don't know though. I did think the burqa could be kind of not so bad because I always have like food stains on my clothes. Yeah, sometimes I'm eating and I just drop. So I feel like that would be good, but it should be burqas for men and women. I think everybody would have to wear the burqa, not just women, you know, because especially too, some of these incel men walking around like, get yourself together, you know, can you please brush your teeth or take a shower? So I was reading too about the Taliban. I've been kind of like obsessed with Afghanistan. One reason we should have known not to that we weren't going to win this war. Did you know what their national sport is? I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's called Bushkazi or Bushhaski. I gotta look it up if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. But it's basically tossing the goat around. It's like one of the most violent sports in the world. You ride a horse and you have to like steal the goat and get it into the other end while other people on horses are chasing you. Just like the whole country, like outwardly looking in, it was just like, whose foreign fucking policy is this and how are we still here? And how are we still thinking that we can impose values in other places when we can't even fucking vaccinate our own people? We can't even get what's going on here in America like together. And that's what we need to be thinking about. But then I could really go down the rabbit hole of like globalism, because, you know, you really hear a lot of the communists, or not the communists, the anti-vaxxers talking about Chinese communists. We're going to become communists. And it's like, okay, you know, yeah, we're going through a raging pandemic. And you know which country that has the pandemic under control? Well, it happens to be the communists, China. Communism is interesting. I really wish people had more of time to kind of read into it, especially Chinese communists. You know, if you look back in the history of the role of Confucius and using your collective energy as an individual to benefit the masses, it's pretty cool. And that's where I think too, again, part of what's happening, I'm trying to be really open-minded with people. I'm really trying to like not freak out and curse everybody out. And thank you guys too, because I have some shows coming up. So being live kind of helps me like stay engaged with what I'm doing while trying to record the podcast. I don't know if I'm going to put this episode out. I'm going to probably listen to it afterward and be like, how much did I ramble? Maybe a lot. I don't know. How are you doing? Are you okay? Are you anxious? Are you having a lot of anxiety? I don't know. So I have to get this. Always, yeah. It doesn't help being out. I feel like everybody is. And like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And I'm trying to like deconstruct why people might be anxious, but then it's like the overthinking obviously makes me more anxious, you know? I don't know. I really do hate social media though. Like it's just, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather be in public. I feel like if I'm in a situation with just a few people, like not out like a huge event or whatever, just like in a small setting in public, or even like again in public with people I don't know. I'd rather that than being engaging with people on social media. There's just something really weird, you know, with being on social media, and especially like if that's your only outlet. And during the pandemic, that's all we had was like, you know, kind of engaging in this. So I'm really, really, really worried. I don't know. You know what else is really freaking annoying? Guys, I don't know how you feel. Baby reveals, gender reveals, what? That's giving me anxiety because like we're supposed to be like moving towards a gender fluid time. And then now we're like giving babies gender before they're even born. And it's like, what? Oh, and you know, as a childless person, I get annoyed because then it's like another fucking party, you know, that I have to go to for you and your kid. And it's like, that's cool. Like, I love your kid, but there's not the same level of reciprocity or respect. I don't think as single people or single women in particular, I don't think I don't get a lot of respect, you know. I got no respect. That's a terrible danger field. I don't think I'll ever do that again. I'm sorry. But I do sense that people kind of want to set me on fire. Right? Single lady, no kids. You know, I think that's just back from our roots in the Middle Ages. And why? Like, I don't understand. I hope all these kids that grow up that are like babies of gender reveal. Oh my God, that's a game. What a terrible game. So apparently now they do gender reveals. Everybody gets a cake pop and you've got to bite into it and find out what color the pop is. I would be really mad if you make me come to your house and we ate cake pops to find like, because it's a baby. And like, again, we're supposed to be living in this time, like you meet people and they identify as non-binary. So it's like, how are we encouraging the respect of bodily autonomy? But then on the flip side, this like narcissistic element, I don't know, maybe I'm a Debbie Downer. That's usually what I am, is a Debbie Downer, you know, because people are like, I like parties. I don't know, I've just been having a lot of anxiety, you know. It does make you a boy if you like blue, of course. With a big dick, yeah. Like, isn't that stupid? Like, yeah, you can't like, did you ever hear that as a kid when you were growing up? Like, don't like blue. Or don't like pink. Pink's a girl's color, boy's color. You know, this is like, you do that. This is what they like. And I see this shit too. What really triggers me is like the use of the girl dad. I'm a girl dad. Oh, having a girl changed my life. Like, why are you raising your girls different from your fucking boys, you know? Oh my God, one is green. What would that mean if you had a green cake pop? I don't know. What if your baby was green? I have no idea. It's just like, and then also too, it's like, it's weird. It's like, it kind of boggles my mind because again, just like having the Taliban back in power, it's like, what fucking year are we in? It's like, are we moving forward? Are we not moving forward? I don't understand why we're doing things and then we're going back 2 steps. Like, Paula Abdul. Oh, that was a good song. Straight up. Oh, no, that wasn't it. I don't remember which song it is, but I do remember the song. You know what I'm saying? What up? What up? What up? What up? And it's hard trying to write jokes. Like, this is the shit I've been thinking about. Right? That's exactly. Humans are humans are humans. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, especially like, I feel like I love the fact of gender binary, like, because you really think about it, like, it makes so much sense. Like, you think about how, like, there's babies sometimes that are born as, like, conjoined twins, like, their heads are fused or their bodies are fused. So why can't that happen with, like, cell development, Opposites do attract. I don't know. And I've been thinking about the environment a lot too. And like, especially with all this crazy ass weather, and it's giving me anxiety because like people are like, we're having babies and then we're doing these things that are not recognizing what's important is having the lives for them to be okay, for their earth. It's too much. Too much. Because I think that's why Texas has given me a lot of anxiety. Texas is limiting a person's right to bodily autonomy. And it's like, you motherfuckers, like we have 8 billion people on the planet. We have enough people. Everybody doesn't need to have a baby. We don't need to have gender reveals for every fucking baby. Let people choose. I feel like, where's my tax breaks as a single person, It's like, I'm not using a lot of extra shit. I'm not polluting. I'm not fucking, and we're not focusing on like, again, instead of having a gender reveal, why doesn't everybody just come over and wash poopy diapers, reusable diapers, and be like, oh, you really love this kid. Okay, good. Let's stop using plastic diapers that are just going to pile up. So in 100 years, our little babies are going to grow up as old people walking through piles of diapers. I don't know, guys, I told you I've been very anxious thinking about this stuff. Stupid. And it's like, oh my God. And it's so fucking dumb because if you like read this shit, it's all rhetoric. Like, all of this is wordplay. Like they don't use the word embryo, even though in the first the first trimester, that's what it is, an embryo, because it doesn't resonate with fucking people. But people are kind of dumb. People are like dumber. I'm not dumb. I don't want to say dumb. That's mean. I'm trying not to be mean. It's super hard not to be mean. People are like not educated. What is it? Most people, I think half the country is on like a 6th grade reading level. It's like, what are we doing with our schools? I don't know, all of this serious stuff. So I thank you guys for letting me get this off. That's what this whole overly exposed podcast does, is let me get this out there, because I'm trying to write jokes about it, like it doesn't usually work though. And this is just, like I said, the stuff that I think about, I don't know. Chrissy Teigen, what do you guys think of her? She was in this whole little rant that I was writing. I have this whole little thing I wrote out about social media. And it's like, oh, you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like, again, social media is so toxic. Like we have this person like Chrissy Teigen, which to my understanding, she got famous by marrying John Legend. And a friend of mine actually used to, with a producer who worked for John Legend. I don't know if I can say that. No, I shouldn't say this. But anyway, John Legend may or may not be on you can interpret that how you want, but I think you know what I mean. But regardless, anyway, Chrissy Teigen, she married him, and then she became famous like being a Twitter troll. And then like she got called out for it. And she's like, oh, I'm an alcoholic. And you're like, ugh, go away. Like, we don't need to all like be fucking commenting on the time. And I'm obviously, haha, I'm being an idiot as I record a podcast. But you guys, I understand and I appreciate you for indulging me in this podcast, because it's become like an online journal. And I really like, again, engaging with comedians and talking about things that are going on in the world and in a different way. So, and like I said, comedians, it's fun. They talk about everything, even things you shouldn't talk about. Oh, okay. Yeah. So supposedly John Legend was on the down low. This was from, like I said, a friend of mine who used to go with a producer who worked for him. But regardless, like, it's like, that's no problem. I mean, well, it is a problem, of course, because it goes back to this whole idea of fucking gender and sexuality. Like, how about we keep all that shit private? And when you get pregnant, I'm having a baby, and that's all that is your baby. You know, not have a party where you got to eat blue fucking cake balls in your mouth. Okay, whew. I don't want to get my ass sued. My friend who's watching made a good point and said that there was no non-disclosure agreements signed. So I don't know. And this is all hyperbole. I'm like Tucker Carlson, right? On Fox News, where I use literary exaggeration for comedic effect. Is it working? I don't think it is. What do you think about that, though, with the burqa, wearing a burqa, pro, no more meatball stains? Everybody in the burqa, though, what do you guys think of that? No. Yeah. I don't know. I just ate too much damn banana bread during the pandemic, and I just have no energy at all to exercise. It's been super hard because, like I said, people are really draining. And you know what it is? I'm engaging with people and they're draining in like weird ways because you're having conversations about the vaccine and you're like, oh, and they're like, I don't want to get vaccinated. Like, that is full of glass from China. And you're like, what are you? I don't even understand. Like, you're not even saying words that make sense. And you're just like, oh my gosh. But again, most people are, I guess, I feel like stuck in this level of cognitive dissonance. Yes, I am always making banana bread. And that's exactly where I'm stuck in cognitive dissonance. I know I should eat healthier foods, more kale, especially in a global pandemic, keep the immune system up. But I don't. And it makes me think, again, behavior. This is all, I guess, rooted in behavior, human behavior, and why we do the things that we do. And how can we have a conversation collectively to kind of move forward as a society? Because like I said, I feel anxious, but again, with the expression that you, the energy that you have internally is what you project outward. I don't know. I'm hoping, I'm trying to be like, again, philosophical, but then, and also try to be nice, and it's really hard. And I hate Ron DeSantis. No, I don't hate him, but he's an idiot. What is happening in Florida? He's completely rooted in this idea of individualism. I do make a lot of banana bread. Did you make banana bread? No? Yes? Maybe? Maybe. Well, I think, what time is it? Oh my God, perfect. So I'm gonna, thank you for participating in this. It really made it much harder to try to record being live. So I'm really thankful. I love you so much. And I hope you're well. Thank you. Oh, you do. You make great bread puddings and cheesecake. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. I'm so hungry all the time. I just want to stay home and eat bread pudding and live in my house. Like, that's like ideal. but I don't think that really is ideal according to the DSM. I'd be like, oh, you have some sort of deep phobia of society and you're we would recall a shut-in, be like, oh, it's not so bad. I kind of like being a shut-in, staying away from everyone. So thanks though for letting me do this. I hope, I know it is ideal. How do we make that happen? Oh my gosh, I don't know. Just give up everything. Like if I sold everything and just became a nomad, I figured, okay, maybe I could like live for like 10 more years. It's hard. I don't understand people who don't believe in astrology because it totally makes sense. You know, you think about the universe and like the planetary rotations and the pulling on, you know, while you're forming and the cells and the energy. You're a Sagittarius too. We saw Celine joined it. What sign are you? I don't know if you can hear me. I definitely believe. Do you think D is definitely a Cancer, Jenny? Are you a Pisces? Like, do you feel you fit, or you don't believe on astrology? My girl, Sagittarius, we're the best sign. It's so true. This podcast has gone off the rails. Oh, it is hard. Oh, can't he gets crabby. Goodness, I feel like, especially like people I know, the more I learn about astrology, like the more it makes sense. Like with my parents seem to have like but my parents are like crazy. Like I sometimes like, I'm like, they've been married like almost 50 years. And it's like, do you guys even like each other? You know? But it makes sense. Like my dad's a Libra, my mom's a Capricorn, and Capricorns are like tradition, and fucking Libras are agreeable. So it's like whatever my mother forces, like he'll do. And I'm like, oh, astrology, moody. Cancers are moody. They are so moody. It's like, why? And then it's hard as a Sagittarius, like you would want to be able to run away. I don't know. It's very weird. So, alrighty. Well, thanks so much. I'm gonna hop off of this so I can listen to what I recorded. I'm very excited. I wanted to do a comedy too tonight. I was gonna do that instead and do my set, but that was way more anxiety provoking than just kind of like, hey, this is the stuff I want to talk about right now. I want to do my jokes, but this is the worst. Instagram Live is, it's so like, and I probably should get one of those lights that make me look really nice. You want me to do the whale impression before I go? I could leave you with the whale. Oh, that would be fun because it's just us. Oh, but then I can't release this footage. Oh, shit. I don't know. This was a mess, huh? All right. I don't know what's happening. It's hard. Oh, the whale, go for the whale impression. I'll leave you guys with it. So wait, Instagram is hard, doing live streams. It is. I don't know. It could be scary. Do you just do that all the time? Like what about you guys? How uncomfortable do you live in what space? Like Jenny, right? Going live for you is uncomfortable? Or Celine, what about you? Is it uncomfortable? Because right now, like I said, I hate this. But I feel like it's good practice because I didn't get any mics in and I got some shows this weekend. Gonna tell the jokes. Oh, you do? Oh, I wish I liked it. I want to like it so badly, but this is over. Do you like people? Celine, do you feel that things are weird right now? Like, it is good. I know. I know. I feel like you need to be a guest on the podcast because that's what I talk about. I talk about comedians and being vulnerable, and being vulnerable is uncomfortable, but it is good. It's so good, but it's so hard. It's nice to be comfortable. It's nice. You're okay with, well, you're really good, Jenny. I've watched your live streams and you're very professional. Like I want to hear this and watch. Let me see. Oh, I'm doing, did I put you in? I don't know. I'm so sorry. There we go. Did I send you? I don't know what I did. Oh, hi.
What's up?
Thanks for joining.
This is so random. I don't have my headphones. Should I get my headphones? Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So thank you. I was recording, I'm still recording an episode of the podcast. And like I said, I went live today for the first time, and because I wanted to kind of like get that anxiety feeling, how like mics you get for practice. I didn't get to a mic today. So I was like, let me do this, but it's horrible. And I feel like I'm going to watch the recording. It's going to be a train wreck. And you said it's fun?
There's like professional musicians who still like look at their footage and they're like, I don't want to see this. After some comedians can't even see their own act.
It's horrible. I do not like watch. I mean, like I feel like you need to watch it because, like you pick up on things that you do so then you can actively not try to do it again, but it's all very uncomfortable. But you said you like doing Instagram Live.
I like those things where like something could happen that's a mistake and it's funny, like spontaneousness. Like there's no practicing right now. We're just, I can see like the wrong word by accident and just get canceled forever.
That's what I wanted to talk about too, because that's something else. Like everything, like I said, the whole theme of the episode was about anxiety, but cancel culture, I feel like has been giving me, especially with trying to do comedy. Because like for me, comedy is a way of like processing everything that's going on. Like all the things that are I'm thinking about that are stressful, I want to make jokes about. So like I was saying earlier, I was like obsessively reading about, Afghanistan and what's happening. And that shit is like just weighing on me, but it's like, obviously like it's weighing on me, but I need to like do something. So I write jokes about it. And I know people are like, oh, it's horrible, but it's like, and then this idea of canceling people, but it's like, it's so much more complicated. It's not just a word.
I think Ricky Gervais said once, was it him who said like people confuse the topic of the joke with the target of the joke? You can have a topic that's taboo, but the target is like something that you want to target, but you're just using like shock value to get there sometimes.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like you shouldn't mention this topic at all because it triggers people, which is fine if that's how you feel. But, I mean, my personal opinion, if like a word triggers you, like to a point where like you like fly off the handle, that's like not a good sign, I think.
Yeah.
And then, like if you're a publisher of a book, and like the editor tells you, what, this might be not a good thing to add in the book because you're not going to make sales or something, then you can be like, all right, I'll take it out. That's fine. I'm trying to make money after all. But if like you're at a comedy show and you say something and somebody like throws a beer bottle at you, like, you know what I mean? Like that's not healthy for the other person, I think.
No, I don't think it's at all. Like, I think the ultimate goal is for you to be completely non-reactive to what others say. Like that's the essence, right, of ultimate self-control. But I also believe that as comedians, like it's an art form and you're allowed to express things. And again, it's like you shouldn't have to like rationalize or explain, like, because again, it's words about things that are much bigger that are happening in, and it's like to get this dialogue rolling. So it's like, to me, if you're just talking about things and you're getting canceled, it's very worrisome. Obviously, if you're doing physical actions, like things with Harvey Weinstein, like that's clear, like that was not just talking, but this idea, I feel like cancel culture has now permeated to, again, like, I don't know if you watched The Office. Did you see the episode? They canceled this episode, but it was the diversity one.
Really? They did?
Yeah, they
That
took
was-
it out of the rotation on, I think, Netflix or whatever.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. I thought that one was like showing how diversity is important and how some people can like make fun of it and then not appreciate it. So that's not a good thing. I thought it's like Huckleberry Finn. When I read that book, I was like, this is the most anti-racist book I've ever read because it shows that this guy, the boy, he loved his friend no matter what color skin he was.
Mhm.
And yeah, in the book they were using, very kind of negative language, sure, but that was the context of the book. And in spite of that, this boy loved his friend no matter what he looked like. And I thought that was a good message when I read it. But then apparently, like, people are like, well, no, because
That's, yeah, but I guess because the word itself was just, but it goes back again to that, like point, like you were talking about again, it's just this one word. It's like you can't be triggered by that one word.
right. Now some people like try to trigger people on purpose, and I know those kind of people, and I don't like that. Someone's like, well, I can say whatever I want, and then they go like throw salt on the wounds and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, well, you don't have to go that far. Like, most of the time you don't need cursing at all in comedy, even like regular cursing, but sometimes you need that word, like not that word,
Right.
but a word that you think is gonna be taboo, like if you'd say rape, for example, that's terrible, but like if you said that word on stage, if you go up and just say that word repeatedly, they're gonna be like, get off stage. And I would agree with that. Like, what do you even does this mean?
But on the flip side, you also have to recognize, like, because again, I think a big part of it, like for me, like I said, what I talk about, like the whole podcast I do is about the uncomfortableness of comedy, right? And because what I wanted to do comedy was for myself to be able to talk about the things, like it's my microphone, right? And I think the expression is Teddy Roosevelt, the credit goes to the man in the arena. So it's like, you might go on stage and your objective might be like, oh, I want to make this whole room laugh. But your objective as, the artist might be, I just want to, whatever that might be, talk about, again, if it's rape, like, I don't know why somebody would want to go, but if they want to go up there strictly to be provocative, it's still like their internal drive and their experience. And I don't think we should take I think it's really, because then you're just doing the exact same thing that they did. You're just by saying, okay, you're canceled. Because you have to be like, I don't like what you're doing, but that doesn't mean I'm going to eradicate you from existence.
Mm-hmm.
And like you brought up, I thought a good point, especially with referencing the book, because it's the big picture. Like we've got to really think about things in bigger pictures, not just look at things fragmentedly, like the word. Or one thing in context.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, what are you trying to say with the joke? It's better to have dialogue than to just be like, you're never allowed back here again or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just think you could say whatever you want. It's just don't act in a way that, for me, words doesn't matter. Only action matters. Like somebody like assaults somebody else, or somebody punches somebody. Okay, that's different.
Right.
But if they words, then
exactly. Because especially too, like the human, like how long are we alive for and how many moments we have? Like you're gonna get upset at times and say things, and it's just like, especially too, like when you're younger, like I feel like it takes time to learn to control your emotions. It's not because like think of how many like old ass people there are right now walking around angry as hell reacting. Like it's not something like we have to condition ourselves to do that. It's not something that we're taught. So I feel like we need to really be fair. Like, okay, people are human. People might not have the tools to do better yet. So calm the fuck down. But I don't know. I was watching in Japan, they have this whole what are they called? JK girls, and they're high school girls, and like men can hire them for like conversations, and it's like out in the open in the middle of Tokyo. But I was like reading about shame culture in Japan and how it's like, oh, and then it was like, oh, well, the West is of shame culture too. And I'm like, oh yeah, we are. But it was like different because we reward like celebrity, and it's like, no, people are imperfect. Like, stop this.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have different shame tactics. Other places, depends on the culture, but they exist everywhere.
Yeah. And we put people up on pedestals too. Like I was like, I keep writing about the stupid Kardashians and I'm like, clearly I don't know these people. I just know what they represent. And it's like, I notice on TikTok, they have a lot of like defenders, like people on like, and I don't know if it's like age, like I wish I had the demographics. I'm sure I could find that of users, like who's using which social media platform for what, because I feel like it says a lot about what we're doing to young people. You know, like why are we reward like, oh, it's like, oh, these people are billionaires. It's like, yeah, they're assholes. We should fucking hate billionaires. Like they're pieces of, they're the kids that when you'd go to their house and you're like, hey, can we play with these toys? No, they're all my toys. Those are the fuck, we should be beating the shit out of these people, metaphorically, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I mean, we have like celebrity worship, I think, right now. And the ironic part is some people who say they hate celebrities are the ones who worship different celebrities. They're like, I hate that celebrity, but Clint Eastwood, he's the best. He should be president. Or I hate that celebrity, but Kim Kardashian's perfect. You know, like they have like,
Yeah.
it's kind of hypocritical in a way. It's like, it's my celebrity is fine, but your celebrity is the thing, you know?
We were right before you had hopped on, we were talking about how to, because like social media, it's like very weird and anxiety causing. Like we were talking about the young people, like how it's like, thank God, like my friend and I, we didn't grow up, we didn't have social media, you know, and it's like, thank goodness, because it's like really distorting. And how, you know, you can put things out there to share and like people won't like it, but then they'll like something of some random person like that they don't know who's famous. And you're just like, wait a second, it's like, that's very real. Like, because then it's like, you really know this person. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like for some people, it's so easy on social media to disconnect from the human experience. And it's like the energy, you're still creating energy, you know?
Yeah.
And think about it.
No, it's true. I'm glad, you know, like the internet, when it came out, you kind of had like it was in doses because it wasn't as advanced. So you had like email, maybe a little bit of IM, but it wasn't like right now, like people get a phone, like kids get a phone and all of a sudden have the entire world at their fingertips. It's amazing to me, you know, but to them, it's like no big deal. Like my nephew's 2.5 and he'll like, he knows how to, if he's watching a YouTube video, he knows how to like click, you know, next to the ad to get rid of the ad. So like, you know, skip ad. And my sister's like, this is really scary that he knows how to do that. He's 2.5. And so she's like, she doesn't want to look at the screen for more than a few minutes a day now because he like knows his way around the phone so easily. He's 2.5.
Right. No, well, even I think it's just something on the reverse for us as like adults, because if like we're giving something that a 2-year-old can easily navigate, think about what it's doing to our cognitive abilities that we're spending hours on something. Like to me, I feel like it's not pushing our intelligence, it's really kind of decreasing our level of intelligence because like again, a 2-year-old can navigate it and think about how many hours people spend, you know, as opposed to other times. Like I use the point of what, you know, think about like Galileo, right? Like sitting there, like having to fucking stare at the sky for hours and hours and hours for years on end to notice like, oh, shit's happening, you know? So it's like, what's gonna happen like now, what we don't have that deep thinking, because it's like everybody wants that, like, you know, like, and like 2-year-olds are just like, boo, 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 I want it now. We're fucking mentally 2 years old.
We are, exactly. It's interesting you say that, like we're the same as that age group now, you know. I think we're getting dumber. Like I definitely like, I did engineering in school and I used to have to sit and do math problems. But now if I'm on Facebook and I see like one of those math problems that challenge you, I'm like, get this out of my face. I don't even know how to, 3 + 5, what's that? Like, I don't even care.
Oh my God, it's horrible. I can't, I had to help my niece with math. She's like in 3rd grade. And I was like, I don't know what this shit is. Like, I don't, they're doing like new math, skip counting. And I'm like, what is this? I don't, and they're, apparently it's supposed to help the kids when they're older with like learning quadratics. I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you kidding me? And then I like just read most people are like on a 6th grade reading level. Like, what the fudge is going on? So, oh my gosh. I want to thank you though for hopping on. This was so fun that you shared out.
Yeah, it was random and spontaneous and that was good.
Yeah, it was really good. And I'm gonna because like I said, I was recording because I release bonus episodes here and there. So I'm gonna listen and I'll tag you when I release it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Okay, thanks so much. Take care. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.